Hi guys, it's a good day. The sun is up and I can hear the canary singing. Wait a minute, do canaries sing? I don't know, but it's time for Parachains, because as Polkadot Decoded is being held now, Moonbeam has suddenly announced the upcoming Crowdloan for Moonriver. It's KUSAMA implementation. So Moonriver is essentially Moonbeam, but it's run on the sister network, which is KUSAMA, which is an experimental network which is designed to get the code up and running first before Moonbeam is being brought onto Polkadot. And on KUSAMA, it's called Moonriver. Now, this is different from IDOs. I know you guys are expecting IDOs, right? This is different. In IDOs, we send our tokens to a specific address. And how that in IDOs that all these Telegram groups come up and they're fake addresses. This doesn't happen in the Crowdloan, okay? We basically get our KUSAMA and we don't even send it to an address. There's another way to do it, reducing scams and all that, and our KUSAMA then is locked for a certain period of time. So I did get this email from Moonbeam, right? Basically learn more about the Moonriver Crowdloan. So finally Moonriver, which is running on the KUSAMA network, the Canary network of Polkadot, is going to have a Crowdloan. I can find out the information here and here. So this is a very, very user-friendly email. But before you look at Moonriver and the Crowdloan, why don't we go through a journey on what Moonbeam is? A short one, because I want it to come out from themselves. And these were part of a presentation held at Illuminate, okay, where Moonbeam basically showed all its partners.
This is something that, is not secret. Our strategy is to be a pure infrastructure platform. We want to support, for now, this kind of EVM-targeted multi-chain deployment strategy that we see a lot of teams pursuing. But, at the same time, we want to kind of set ourselves up for what we believe are going to be, new kinds of multi-chain applications that, are uniquely enabled by Polkadot, right? Polkadot has this interoperability built into it. And, there's going to be kind of new kinds of multi-chain applications that are Polkadot native.
So when you look at Moonriver, it is essentially the implementation of Moonbeam on KUSAMA, right? It's a community-led, fully Ethereum-compatible parachain on KUSAMA. And these are the features that make it easy for other blockchains or other dApps to come and be deployed on Polkadot. And this is very important because, let's face it, most of the devs are on Ethereum. So to show you how easy this is, here's Derek Yu, CEO of Moonbeam, on what this special software does.
One of the integration patterns we'll be using these special precompiles that look like standard smart contracts from an Ethereum perspective, but actually under the hood are powered by substrate functionality that can include things like cross-chain actions that would happen on Polkadot. So that's an extremely kind of powerful technique that we have big plans for.
So now that you know how easy it is, well, you got to know the purpose of Moonriver. It is a Canary net, okay, and they want to deploy things there, test it out before they finalize the code and deploy it on Polkadot, right? This is, I think, is very key. Their token name is Moonriver, MOVR. So you got to remember that. And they are following the model of Polkadot, right, where things are tested out in the KUSAMA first before it goes on Polkadot. So where is this all leading? It's leading to a Crowdloan. What is it? Now, this is something that's very unique to Polkadot because you have to actually lease the parachains, okay? And this is through a Crowdloan. What is it? It's a way for a new project to garner the support they need to connect to the KUSAMA or Polkadot network. And I think this is really a more transparent way to do it because through a Crowdloan, we contribute funds. Kind of loaning, but not loaning, right? Because they will return it back to us anyway, okay? So our KUSAMA is locked in a Polkadot or KUSAMA sponsored account. And after the period, during this lock period, we are now eligible to receive the reward, which will be in terms of Moonriver tokens. Okay, and of course our locked KUSAMA or Polkadot is used to cover the cost of a loan. And this basically means that we don't lose anything and we get the rewards. And the company that we are basically contributing to has the motivation to actually distribute or finish the project, right? And as they say here, it's an efficient way to distribute tokens to community members, cover the cost of a Parachain slot, a way to get support for a new project. And you can access it either to the wallet on-chain, a custom dashboard that's created by Moonbeam, the Parachain project, or through a custodian. I like this because sometimes it's hard, you want to go straight from the wallet into the Crowdloan or even an on-chain. It scares people. But the fact that it can be done on Binance or CoinList is really, really cool. And I know that a lot of our group members are very active on CoinList. I myself am staking like Flow and Nucipher on CoinList. So it's very familiar to me. And how long will they last? Well, that depends on what the Moonbeam requires. But it will last, they say it's about 7 days, okay? So after that, let's go to the next topic. Now, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, because I am bullish on Moonbeam, I think they've got it right because they are going to a process called multi-chain. They one of the earliest companies to think about it. So once again, I'll leave it to Derek Yu to tell you all about this.
Give you guys a sense of what we're seeing in the market. We are seeing this, some important shifts happen, which I think are actually playing to our favor. So, one shift, I would say that even if you go back, 6 months ago, most teams were still focused on what I'd call a mono-chain deployment, right? I mean, they were choosing a blockchain and they were deploying their applications to it. I mean, often that was Ethereum, right, as the kind of default, option. But what's happened and accelerated over the last 6 months is that almost everyone at this point is pursuing or at least planning what a multi-chain deployment could look like. And in particular, a lot of teams are pursuing what I would call an EVM-targeted multi-chain deployment strategy. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you basically are going to deploy to multiple blockchains, but by targeting EVM-compatible blockchains, you get this benefit where you can just write your code once, and you can deploy that same code multiple times, to different target blockchains. And so, we see several different patterns here, but chains that are often kind of in the mix are Ethereum, of course, Polygon to some extent, BSC to some extent, and then Moonbeam as a way to deploy to Polkadot. Polkadot being, from our perspective, the most important developer ecosystem, outside of Ethereum.
So here are the details on the Moonriver Crowdloan. So as we mentioned before, we use a Crowdloan to fund this auction. 3 million mover tokens distributed to Crowdloan community, and it's locked. You can only earn 30% of the rewards will be distributed immediately. But we're used to this, right? Because if you are part of our group, you know that when we go to IDOs on CoinList, it's also locked and then it's vested. Okay, so 70% vesting over the course of the lease, which is 48 weeks. This is not bad because initially we were told that it might take up to 2 years, but 48 weeks is good, is less than a year. So Moonriver plans to bid for 8 lease periods of 6 weeks each. That is okay, and we can be made through the Moonriver Crowdloan dApp or through official exchange partners. So let's wait. Will it be Binance? Will it be CoinList? Will it be Huobi? Let's see how this goes, right? And of course, we get Moonriver. So again, this is a testnet to realize this vision of a multi-chain that has been actually touted by Moonbeam for so long. So you got to get KUSAMA. It cannot be locked. Look here, okay, the rewards will be paid out on Moonriver, not on Ethereum. So you have to have the private keys. You can't really use an exchange address. And we lock it through a dApp posted on the Moonbeam Foundation. Now, One thing that I really like about this, it's kind of hard to scam people, because look at this, okay? In IDOs, what happens is you have to send your tokens to an address, right? No, this doesn't work this way. Crowdloan contributions are made through a special transaction using a campaign index, okay? Again, not by transferring KSM to a specific address. I mean, this is a problem. There are all sorts of people coming in to scam you guys. You know, campaign index is something else. So that's cool. It's not easy for the scammers to get access of the campaign index. So here's what happens. If Moonriver wins a slot, we get the contribution locked for the duration of the Parachain lease for the 8 weeks. And we also get the rewards, right, which is vested. If it's unsuccessful, we get our locked tokens back, and we can go for other Parachains on the KUSAMA network. So this is how the token allocation looks at launch, and I must say it looks good. And they've even summarized all this. You can go to the Moonriver Crowdloan page, okay? So it has all the summary of what I said, and it's very, very systematic. You know what Parachains is, what a Crowdloan is, the slot auctions is, and they have explained all this, and you know, shared security of the Polkadot network. I think this is one of the most important things about Polkadot, because you can really focus on doing your project than, you know, worrying about sharding, worrying about management, worrying about security. And really is this, right? It's a launch pad for Ethereum based projects. So I'm going to show you another video. This is important because here is another recording from Illuminate, where Moonbeam is actually, guys, is actually a Canary network for Ethereum. Let's hear this.
Like the DeFi space has evolved over the past year, and specifically like with an eye towards kind of this like EVM compatibility, liquidity mining, cross-chain bridges, and just like how Moonbeam kind of fits into that among some of the it's like kind of like a canary net, like Binance Smart Chain is almost like a canary net for Ethereum these days.
So you can go at this and help Moonbeam bootstrap the Moonriver Crowdloan, and I think I would like just to tell you the vision of Derek, because he's not someone new, and I think that if we want to put money into something, we have to know what it's all about. So I'm going to leave it to you with Derek, because this is a guy who has been here for quite some time, and he has a vision, and he is merely executing this vision. Nothing, it's too late. It's time for Moonbeam. It's time for KUSAMA. It's time for Moonriver.
Where I experienced this once before, at the beginning of my career, you know, when the first internet wave was happening. And you know, I remember back then it was so kind of clear, even though I saw it early on, that was, you know, the internet was going to change everything, right? Everything that I knew was going to change as a result. And when you see something early like that, you know, it kind of like burns inside of you. You know, it compels you to be involved. You know, back then I was kind of too young and inexperienced to make much of the opportunity, but and for most people, you know, that would be it, right? You kind of have one chance to be at the beginning of something kind of incredibly special like that, and that might be it. But you know, now like we've had this, you know, there's this like second chance, I would say, right? There's like a second, you know, for a second time in my career, I'm kind of in a place where, you know, I'm at the, you know, you can see that there's a technology here that's going to change everything, right?